Hey guys, it's Dan. Sorry for the long break in between videos. This is really just a hobby for me. I don't get anything out of it. It's not how I make my living, but it's interesting to hear feedback from you guys. So I had an idea on the way home from the gym just now on a video topic, and I think it's really important. Um, I know some of you might follow me just because you're into merch by Amazon, or maybe for other reasons from other things I've been up to. But I think this will apply to everyone that's certainly anyone that's in any kind of a business or self-employed, and probably also can apply to employees as well. So the deal is, do you have a moat around your business? And I was thinking about this on my way home. Some of the things I'm into, and what I mean by moat, by the way, if you're familiar with Warren Buffett, he talks about this all the time. Do you have a moat around your business, like the moat around a castle? What protects you from competitors, invaders into your market, into your space? You know, is your niche something that's unique, expensive? Do you have a patent? Do you have copyright? Let's see, what else? I mean, are there, maybe if you're in a country with a lot of tariffs, you're protected from imports to your country. But you know, maybe it takes a long time to learn what you do. It takes years to build the skills. Maybe to create a product like yours, it takes a lot of capital. So these are all examples of possible moats. Um, so there are businesses like Merch by Amazon that are really, for the most part, for the vast majority of the Merch by Amazon shirts are not protected. And we all know this. There's tons of copycats, and you know, they're not necessarily going to actually rip off your specific design, but it's really easy to make you know, a slightly different design based on a design that's out there selling already. If you don't know what I'm talking about with Merch by Amazon, it's a print-on-demand platform that Amazon provides where you can upload your shirt designs and other products now too, but you upload mostly shirt designs, and if people like it, they buy it, and Amazon prints it and ships it. But it's not too hard to get accepted into their program, and it doesn't take a ton of skill to create designs. There are programs that make it pretty easy, or you can hire somebody for not a lot of money. So, you know, there's sort of like was a gold rush in merch, and people were all jumping in and getting excited. But then they found out, you know, it's a lot of work, because when you get a shirt that sells well, Amazon displays sales rankings publicly, so people see that and they knock it off, or they make one with a different color, or a different font, you know, about a different dog breed or a different color cat, you know. So that's a perfect example of a business model that's pretty hard to protect. In other things I do, I have better protection. Like I made a board game called Better Me, the Game of Growth, and I made a set of cards called Love Bombs Kindness Cards. And you know, people could do something similar, but that takes a lot of time and effort. It's a lot more time and effort than making a t-shirt design. So like with the Better Me game, you have to work out all the mechanics and the rules, and you have to do a whole bunch of play testing, see what people like, throw out what they don't like, make the game not take too long. You know, there's a million things. You know, the graphic design takes a lot of time and it's expensive. You know, if you can't do it yourself, you've got to pay somebody to do it. And then most board game manufacturers require at least 1,000 units when you make your first order. So, you know, that costs some money depending on the game. And then you've got to export it from China, import it to the US, figure out the shipping, you know, get yourself your import license. Then you've got to figure out, where am I going to sell these things? How do you sell on Amazon? It's not super simple. It's a little more complicated than like Merch by Amazon, for example. So I feel more protected. You know, I've had that game up for over 3 years now, and the sales are steady. And so I can just keep adding products. And I can't really say that about, I've got maybe one shirt design where I've got a few different variations that has sold fairly well since I first got onto merch. And I actually had that design on Teespring before I ever sold it on merch. But that's the exception. A lot of my shirts that sold well now don't sell hardly at all. Like if I sell one a month, that's great, where they used to sell, you know, every couple days. But, you know, and merch is a numbers game. I've got thousands of designs up now, so it's not killing me. I'm still making money on merch, but it sure would be nice if all the designs that sold well in the past still sold well and I'm adding ones, but it's not really how it works. You know, a lot of the older ones kind of fade, and you got to keep introducing new designs to keep the money coming. And as you merch guys know, we actually did make some money in November and December. Merch kept up with demand, and we got a lot better. I got way better results this December than the disappointing Christmas season last year, which was really just a bust for me. You know, I made less in December than I did in earlier months in the year. So anyway, think about it though. What business are you in? Another example, I used to be in real estate. That was basically the first thing I did after I dropped out of college. And if you're just Joe Blow real estate agent that shows people houses and helps them write the contract and stuff, man, when the market got hot, we had, I'm trying to remember the population of Whatcom County. I want to say my county was like maybe 140,000, I think, roughly. That's sort of a guess. Around 140,000 people. This was back in like, I got in 2001. But I thought there was like a cobra in the bushes next to me just now. I live in Thailand. People always ask me, where are you? Something moved in the bushes. Anyway, side note, I've got my ferocious guard dog here to help protect me from cobras. So I've never seen a cobra in my yard. 140,000 people in Whatcom County. We had, I don't know, I want to say maybe 300 or 400 realtors when I got into the business. So what is that? That's like a third of 1,000. So you've got 450 people in the county per realtor. And then it shot up within a few years when the market got hot, like leading up to, 2008, before everything started to drop. We had like over 700 realtors, I think it was. So I think it roughly doubled. So you went from 450 people per realtor in the county to like half that, 225 or whatever it was. And it seemed like everybody that would have gone to well, not everybody, some people that would have gone to an experienced realtor were just using like their cousin or their neighbor who got into the business the year before, which, you know, they wanted to help their buddies out. Honestly, that's not the best idea. Another side note, like if you're going to buy or sell a house, you want somebody with some experience. And if it's your neighbor who just got into the business, that could be okay if they're working closely with another agent who has a lot of experience. But with a transaction that big and important, don't go with somebody who's the ink is still drying on their license. So anyway, just think about it. Like in real estate, in my home state of Washington, if I remember right, I did my classes in like 6 weeks maybe. I did it over a summer. And then I went and passed a test that was not very hard. Some people it takes them a couple tries, but so you've got 6 weeks. It might have the course might have cost me like $500 or something. And at the end of the summer, I was a licensed realtor. So there's not a lot of moat, not a lot of protection there. But of course, like what I did was I got into something specific. Like when I really started making good money in real estate, it was some little niches that I had down that I had learned, and it took a lot of time to learn these, a lot of energy. But I got really good at like identifying lots that could be divided, like a house with a big yard where you could split the lot off, or just an empty field that could become several home sites or whatever. I really got to where I knew that well. Sometimes it's obvious, there's a piece of land, you can put 3 homes on it, everybody knows it. But then there were other ones where maybe there's some wetlands, like a creek, or there's no access, or the water or power isn't nearby, or, you've got, or maybe it appears that the planning regulations don't allow you to divide it, but there are little rules that most people don't know that would allow you to divide the land. So, I would go around and turn over a lot of rocks, and once in a while I'd find one of these. And it was just because I had a deeper understanding of that specific type of transaction. And that took effort. That was a lot harder than getting my real estate license. Getting the license was easy. Figuring out how to divide land and do those kind of things and move houses and stuff, that was harder. So I had less competition. So yeah, I mean, it's really just how life works, I guess. Anything that's easy, there might be easy money briefly in certain scenarios, like merch by Amazon might have been some easy money for some people. I know a guy who made $50,000 off of one shirt about the eclipse, like, was that a year and a half ago during the summer? He made $50,000 in a month off of one shirt design. But, that's not going to happen to all of us. And that shirt isn't making him any money now. So if you want, to do something consistently, like you can go for the quick money, something competitive short term. That's not, if you need to pay the bills, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're thinking long term and you don't want to be like, a hamster on a wheel, just constantly running full speed, think about how you can protect what you're doing. So, can you get a patent? Can you copyright something? If you're a distributor for a product that you don't manufacture, can you get an exclusive agreement for your country or your region or your city or something, or are you going to be like one of 100 guys trying to sell this widget on Amazon and eBay and your website and running Google ads and Facebook ads. So anyway, I'd be curious to hear your thoughts, hear what works for you guys. Let me know. You might not want to tell me what business you're in that's working well. Or you might, if it's protected, maybe you're not worried about it, right? It's the people who are in unprotected businesses that are scared to tell people what they do, I think. But what's working for you? Have you had a lesson in an industry like this that went great for a while, and then all of a sudden competition rushed in and you couldn't make any money? Um, yeah. So there's my flowers. Um, Let me know what videos you'd like to see too, guys. Things that I know about. I live in Thailand, so I'm an expat or a digital nomad, whatever you want to call it, location independent. Um, what else do I know about? I was in real estate for a long time. I don't actively do that anymore. I'm a landlord from abroad. That might be an interesting topic. Um, I'm going to Bali in 4 days. I'm going to Bali for the first time. I started surfing when I moved here to Phuket, and I had surfed just a little bit before I moved here, but I'm off to Bali to check it out. That looks like a cool place. World-class surf, co-working spaces. I used to live in Chiang Mai for 3.5 years. If you consider yourself a digital nomad or you want to be, check out the Chiang Mai Digital Nomads Facebook group. I started that when I first moved to Chiang Mai, and it's over 32,000 people now. So anyway, let me know what you'd like in a future video, you guys. And I just do this for fun. So I just point and shoot, and I do not edit, and I'm not even, I have no script in my hand here. So I just wing it. So I love your questions. I love this to be interactive so that we both get something out of it and we can both learn. Okay, good luck with everything, you guys. Happy New Year.